Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're here for another story time because y'all know the craziest things happen to me and I'm here to share it with you guys, of course. Before we do anything, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I feel like it's something that a lot of us can relate to, but I'm gonna get into it with all the details, all the tea, okay? Let's go. So I wanna say, oh my God, how long ago did this? Oh Jesus. Oh my goodness. I want to say when I was like in high school. So when I was in high school, I met this girl and we were friends. Like we were friends from before. Her mom used to do my hair and stuff like that. Like we were really close. Like we would hang out. Well, I thought we were, I don't know. Clearly after this story, we weren't that close. But her mom used to do my hair and I used to always be at her house and we used to hang out and stuff like that. And I remember one time I called her and she said how there was a guy named Antonio who was really interested in me. And I was like, Antonio? I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, he goes to my school. He's really cool, blah, blah, blah. So I'm on the phone with her and she passes the phone to some guy. So when I heard the voice of the guy, I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, girl, like, don't worry. You know what? I'm not even going to say her name because you know what? She doesn't exist to me, period. She passes his phone to the guy and he's talking and his voice kind of sounded similar to hers, but then at the same time it didn't. It was like a weird, like, oh my God, I don't know if I was just young and naive and didn't want to believe what was happening, but at first I was like, okay, girl, like, and then the guy was like, Antonio was like, no, it's not her, and then her voice would be like in the background. Honestly, mind blown. I don't even know how she did this. I don't know how she kept up with this. Like, this whole situation, crazy. So I'm talking to Antonio on the phone and I'm like, okay, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like a little skeptical. So the next time I go to her house, I ask to see pictures of him, and because he apparently didn't have any social media. Girl, I should have knew that. So she shows me a yearbook. The yearbook had like someone's picture on it and she scratched out and put Antonio. And I was like, why is the name scratched out? She goes, oh, the school messed up. They put like the wrong name under his picture. He's so annoyed about it and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. And then she showed me pictures of her and Antonio together. I don't remember what the picture was. I think it was maybe of them like playing soccer, or I don't know what it was, but it was just her and a picture of another guy. She told me that was Antonio, and I said to her, they looked kind of different. And she's like, oh, it's because he was younger here. And I was like, okay. So me, like the dummy, young dummy that I was, believed her. Moving on. So basically, I'm talking to this Antonio person on the phone. Antonio's always calling me private. Honestly, the signs were there. The signs were there, and I just don't know why. Like, I fell for this for a second. Like, now that I look back, that could never happen to me now. Period. Like, that could never happen to me now. Like, no. I'm talking to this Antonio guy on the phone, and like Antonio would always call me private. So I'm like, okay, like, what's your number? And Antonio, I think, oh my God, this happened so long ago, but I think Antonio said like his phone was broken, or like he didn't have a phone, or like something like that. Like, I really don't remember. It was so long ago, but Antonio would always call me private. So at the time, what I didn't know is, so at the time, me and my we're my ex-best friend, because never, period. So me and her were friends at this, we weren't friends at this time. So apparently, like, Antonio would tell me that he just met up with her, and I'm like, obviously that's something that I can believe because I can't verify with her if she even met up with him, because we weren't speaking at the time. So I was like, okay. And there was like a couple times like Antonio met up with me to go to the movies, okay, and didn't show up. Like, honestly, it was such a crazy turmoil, like, of events. Like, it was insane. I think eventually me and my ex-best friend, we started talking again. And I asked her, hey, like, did you ever meet up with Antonio? Because he said that he's met up with you a couple times, and like, I've never been able to meet up with him. Like, he's always like flopped or like whatever. And she's like, actually no, but he told me he's met up with you a few times. I'm like, me? Me? Coco, me? Me? No. I was like, no, he has not. So this is where we started to like really investigate. So I remember one day her mom was doing my hair, and I asked her and I said, hey, like, have you ever met Antonio? And her mom was like, I've heard this name before, but I don't know where I've heard it from, but I've never met anyone by that name. So like, I was just kind of verifying some information with her because, you know, Antonio and my other friend made it seem like Antonio met her mom and like all this weird stuff. And like, I went back to my ex-best friend and I was like, girl, Antonio never met her. And she goes, what? And she's like, okay, there's something wrong. But I think she was more in denial than me. Like, I started to kind of realize that, okay, we're getting catfish, clearly. But I think because she actually developed more feelings, like she developed feelings, I guess, in it. And I want to say that I kind of liked Antonio at the time, but I don't think it was as deep as she did. And I think she was in more denial than I was, I feel, because she was still talking to Antonio on the phone, and me on the other hand, like, I was quite skeptical of it. So anytime Antonio would call me, I'd be like, oh, okay, because I just wanted to kind of draw it out until I could prove that he was a catfish. One day, my ex-best friend was on the phone with Antonio, and I called her and I said, hey, like, are you talking to Antonio right now? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call homegirl's phone. So this is the girl who introduced me to Antonio, my friend. So I'm like, I'm gonna call her phone, let me know if it beeps. She goes, oh my god, you think it's her? I'm like, yeah, girl, like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, how is it that she's the only one that's seen him, has pictures with him? Her mom, she said her mom's seen him and been with him too, but everyone else has never seen this guy except her and them. So I called our friend's line. What do you think happened? What do you think happened? It beeped! It beeped, girl! It beeped! And I was like, I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! So once we found that out, that was like... and this is why I feel like she took it harder than me, because at that point I was like, okay, I knew it. Oh, like, I knew it. Period, point blank, period. I knew it. And I just kind of like moved on from it. But with her, like, they physically fought each other, like, straight up fight. And that's how at that point I kind of knew, like, she kind of took it deeper than, I guess, deeper than I did. So, and apparently this same person catfished multiple people at my new school that I went to, because I changed schools at the time. Oh, bitch. But trust me, it was crazy, like crazy. The lengths, like, be careful. That wraps up the first time I got catfished. Let's go on to the second time I got catfished, because clearly I have dumb written all over my face. Oh my god, guys. So one day I was on Facebook, okay? I was on Facebook, minding my own goddamn business, just trolling Facebook. I come across this cute guy, and typically he wasn't really my type, but like, I don't know, there's something about him that was really, really cute. So I slid in the messages, because I'm a confident girl. If I see you and I want you, I'll slide, period. So I slid in the messages, and I think I said, like, you're cute, or something of that sort. I don't know. I wish I could pull up the messages, but since this person has been caught, that page has been deleted. The person, his name was Bobby. Already by that name, I should have known it was fake. I should have known. So anyways, his name was Bobby, and we were kind of talking back and forth, and then I think Bobby asked for my number, or I gave my number, or I don't really know how the exchange of information, or if there was even exchange. It could have just been one-sided. So Bobby called me. Bitch. Bobby called me. As soon as I answered the phone, I was like, hello? As soon as I heard Bobby's voice, are you guys ready to hear what I heard? Remember Antonio? Girl, it was her. It was her again. Like, she, not once but twice, you got me, bitch. Like, I can't. I was like, but I didn't tell Bobby right away. I was like, you know what? Let me string this along a little bit. But I knew from the first call, girl, I knew it was Antonio again. And I'm like, girl, you didn't learn your lesson the first time? Like, what the hell? Right? Okay. So I'm talking to Bobby a little bit. And as I'm on the phone with Bobby, I'm just like, okay, girl. Like Bobby. So I head off to my friend's house. She's about to go do my hair. And I tell her, yo, like, I think it's homegirl again. Like, I think she's catfishing me again. And she was like, you're lying. I'm like, I swear. I'm like, Bobby's about to call me in a couple minutes. Watch when I pick up the phone. You're going to hear the voice. So Bobby calls me. And I'm like, speaker. Like, let's put you on speaker because I'm over this. So I'm like, hello? And then obviously here goes homegirl's voice trying to sound like a man. Regular guy stuff. And I say, honestly, at this point, I'm over the conversation. I'm so over the conversation because I already know it's you. And I dragged this along far enough, but I needed a witness there because I am not crazy. Like, this girl keeps doing this shit to me. Like, so I'm like, girl, I know it's you. Click. Did she not hang up? Guys, she hung up. She hung up. But of course you're going to hang up because why are you trying to catfish me not once but twice? I am not interested. I am not interested. Like, no. Like, I don't have anything against anyone who wants to date people of the same sex, but that's just not something for me. Like, I'm just not interested in girls like that, right? So it's like, twice, girl, twice. You really tried to get me twice? I couldn't even believe. Like, I couldn't even believe. So, whatever. We're going to fast forward now to, like, I don't know, years later. So, from this point today, I want to say it was about 4 years later. 4 years ago, sorry. I'm at a date party and I see her. And now I'm very happy. It seems like she found herself. She's like, I guess a lesbian now. I don't know. But like, it just seems like she's more like comfortable with herself. And like, I think I saw her again like like last summer. And like, yeah, like she was at an event that would cater to her interests. And like, I'm just happy. Like, honestly, like, I'm just happy she found herself and that she's comfortable with herself because let me tell you guys something. For someone who's been catfished not once but twice, okay, twice, I'm completely obsessed with the show because I'm like, damn, like that's happened to me. Damn, like I should have been the first episode. I should be a guest host because now I know what to look for. I'm a pro because that has never happened to me since. She got me twice though. Twice. Can't lie. I caught her. She got me twice. Twice. I can't even believe. Twice. Like, I will never, ever get over that. Like, she got me twice, but it's okay. But sometimes, even watching the show and thinking about my situation with her, like, sometimes people are going through certain things and it's like way beyond what you really know. And I don't feel like she catfished me twice for malicious reasons. I feel like maybe she was still trying to find herself. I don't hate her and I don't hold anything against her, but back in the day I definitely did. But now I'm older and I have a better understanding of why people deal with the things that they deal with the way they do. So yeah, that's my story about how I got catfished twice. But don't listen, ladies, warning, people be hat fishing. These guys be hat fishing. So when you meet a guy, ask him to take his hat off. Tip. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat. Everything will be in the description below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my story, and don't get catfished. Careful. Careful, especially with everyone dating online now. Don't get catfished. Girl, check your P's. Like, just check everything. Boys, you too. Make sure she is who she says she is, and ladies, make sure he is who he says he is. Period.